I'm browsing the Bank of America enrollment page in one browser tab, and now I switch to another browser tab that renders a malicious graphics shader. You can see that large parts of the Bank of America page have been captured, and these are being uploaded to a remote server. I'm visiting a WebGL page in Google Chrome. It renders a malicious graphics shader. After about 5 seconds, you see that the display freezes, and then the blue screen of death occurs. In this sped up video, I open a malicious page on my HTC phone in Google Chrome. The display freezes, and shortly after, the device reboots. This is an Ubuntu Chrome web page on our NVIDIA machine. We've clicked Start Rendering, and this shader actually freezes the machine's display. So while the mouse pointer moves, we're clicking around and nothing is happening, and this continues indefinitely. We can still SSH into the machine and use it remotely, but the display does not recover. Here we're rendering a WebGL shader in Safari on a MacBook Pro with an Intel GPU. The shader causes the display to freeze, and then we see artifacts being rendered outside the web page. Zooming in, we can see here that some of the colors that are being rendered inside the web page are also being rendered outside the web page. Here we're going to see a blue screen of death occurring in a desktop rendering context. Interestingly, we do see the intended image just before the blue screen occurs. It takes some time before the blue screen happens, and the image is rendered perfectly in the meantime, but eventually we see the blue screen. A WebGL shader on an iPhone is meant to render this image, but when we apply some injections, we instead see this garbage is rendered. Interestingly, although this garbage doesn't appear to give away details of what's happening on the phone, when we interact with the phone, the nature of the garbage changes, suggesting that information could be being leaked via this garbage. Here we're rendering a shader using WebGL in Chrome on the Nexus player. The bottom half of the image looks as expected, but with some of our injections we find that the top half of the rendered image, which is meant to be static, turns into this dynamic garbage. It's possible information could be leaked via the garbage.